Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this Breville Bambino espresso machine. So the nice thing about this espresso machine is we can use our own ground coffee, but I'm also going to be using a grinder to grind some freshly ground beans. Now the reason we can do that is we get two different filter baskets. We've got this double wall filter basket, and this is for freshly ground coffee. So when I grind it, I'm going to use this one. When I'm going to be using my own coffee, that's already pre-ground, I'm going to be using these double wall. We've got a double shot and a single shot. And same with when we use our freshly ground. Double shot over here and a single shot. So here's everything that comes in the box. It's got this nice portafilter. Now this is 53 millimeters. It does come with this tamper so that when we put our filter basket in here, they just snap in there. This is the tamper we're going to use, but that is 53 millimeters. Also comes with this really nice milk jug that we're going to use for frothing. We've got a steam wand here. The unit itself is very easy to operate. We've got a single shot espresso, double shot. We've got steam wand, and we can get water out of here. So if you want to do an Americano, you can do an espresso shot, then you can get some water out of here, some really hot water. Now around back, it does have a removable water tank. I've got it filled up here. Anytime I've got a new machine, I recommend lifting the water tank on and off about 5 times to kind of help prime the pump and take any air out of the lines. Now there is a little cleaning tool that I'm going to use later. It is stored right here. Okay, so when you first get the machine, you're going to want to plug it in and hit the single shot button. That's going to kind of prime the pump. And you're going to get some water out. That's going to be really hot, so be careful. Now it kind of ran a little bit, and then it stopped, and it's doing this 3 times now. It stops and starts up again. Also have something underneath the steam wand, because as soon as it's going to run 3 times through here, and then it's going to go through the steam wand. That's what it's doing now, running hot water into the steam wand. Okay, the unit is set up. So when I first plugged it in, this light was on steady, telling me that I kind of had to do a priming of the pump and setup. Once I pressed that once, I did get, quite a bit of hot water out of here, and then some hot water. It was all automatic out of the steam wand. So make sure you've got something here and here. So I really like that it comes with this explanation on these filters. It talks about the double wall filters and then it talks about when you're going to grind the single wall filters is when you grind your own coffee. It also has a really nice quick start guide, but what I really like is the correct extraction, under extraction chart. This is really nice to go by, and it kind of tells you how to solve the solutions. This is a really nice piece of information. It's also it comes with a really nice manual. Lots of pictures, but there's that over extraction, under extraction. This is just a really nice manual that I'm glad it comes with. Okay, so first we're going to make some espresso shots with the double wall ones. So I've got some pre-ground coffee right here. So you're going to put the double wall, snap it into the portafilter till it's nice and level like that. That's where it sits. So we're going to put some coffee in here. Now when I tamp it down, I want the tamper, there's kind of a mark right here. That should be right about level. You don't want to tamp it too far and not far enough. If you've got too much coffee in here, you won't be able to turn it when you put it in. So when we want to end up right about there. Now the thing about pre-ground coffee is, when I grind my own coffee for these other filters, it's going to be it'll be heaped up in there a little bit because you can really compress finely ground coffee. Now this is at a medium grind, like for a normal drip coffee maker, it doesn't compress as much. Now typically this takes about 2 tablespoons. We're going to put our coffee in here, again, kind of make it nice and level. Now I like that this portafilter, it can sit flat on the table right here. Now this is going to take some getting used to. You're going to tamp it down. Again, this does not tamp, so that's just about right. Yeah, it hardly tamped at all. But it is tamped. And again, we want to make sure it's below the surface. That's just about right there. Now you're always supposed to, before you put this in, you're supposed to run a single shot through it to kind of clear out the shower head and kind of warm it up also. So just do a single shot. With nothing there, you'll get some hot water coming out. Okay, so we're going to set this to the side. Our shower head is warmed up. Now you're going to start over here, insert, and turn it to the lock position. Got to hold the machine, turn it to the lock. Now these go past 90 degrees a little bit. Now I've got the double shot cup in there, so let's just press the double shot now. So it starts right away. Yeah, it looks okay, I think. Again, a lot's gonna have to do with the type of coffee you're using. Is it a super dark roast? Is it a medium roast? Okay, so here we have our double shot espresso. Now, I can't drink these straight like this. I do have to put them in kind of a cappuccino or latte. And we're gonna do this. Be careful, this can be hot. And we're gonna clean this out now. Now, these are called knock boxes. These kind of help get the coffee grounds out. There, now I gotta rinse this out and get this all nice and dry. Now be sure to have some old towels around because it's kind of always making a mess. You're kind of always cleaning up and it does stain towels. Okay, so dialing in this espresso machine with grinding your own coffee, it can be a challenge. Some days I can get this pretty relatively quick. Today was not a day. I have spent probably 40 minutes dialing in this espresso machine with the grind size and the amount. Now, partly that was my fault. I was using old coffee beans. I ran out of my coffee beans that were fresh. I tried to use some old coffee beans. It doesn't work. If you're using your own coffee beans, they've got to be fresh or it just doesn't work. And it makes so when you're dialing in an espresso machine, it takes a lot of work. I mean, it's kind of a big mess sometimes. If you're making a mess, it's okay. It can just take a while and you're going to have some shots that just don't taste very good and you've got to throw out. But you've got to find the grind size and the amount that is going to work for your coffee beans that you're using and for your taste. So again, we're using this filter. This is for grinding our own coffee freshly right now. I'm using the Breville grinder. Now these are the sizes that work for me. I'm doing a 2-shot, but the grind size is 13. So you can see it's really fine. It's not all the way fine. And how many seconds, so basically how full it fills the cup, about 12.2 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and grind some coffee. Okay, so it looks really full, but when coffee is freshly ground and it's fine, it will compact quite a bit. Yeah, there's a whole art to this. I'm not exactly perfect at it, but you want to tamp it down with a hard enough pressure. So I'm pressing even. Now I do get some that kind of goes on the ears and the tamper just doesn't cover the whole filter perfect. So then I just kind of tamp down that stuff that fell in there. You want it right below. Then again, warm up your shower head. Just do a single shot. That'll just kind of clean the shower head off and get it all nice and hot. Okay, now we're going to stick ours underneath there. Turn it. Now we're going to count. So once the pump starts, we want to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is when it should start flowing, between 8 and 12. Okay, that looks like it's going to be okay. Yeah, not too bad. If the water starts coming out too soon, that means it's too coarse of a grind. The water's just flowing through the coffee grounds too fast. You want the espresso to be dark and the crema, that top, is to be kind of like light, but also rich in color. Now, if it takes too long, if it takes over 12 seconds for the coffee to start coming out, that means it's too fine and it can't get through it okay. And that all has to do with your grind. So you're going to do your grind size and even the amount of coffee comes into play. Okay, so now let's take it off, and even you can kind of take a look and see what's going on up here. Now this isn't too bad. When I had it too fine, there was a whole bunch of water up here. Also, when I wasn't using enough coffee, there was a whole bunch of water up here because it was like right up to here, but then I tamped it and it was down quite a bit farther. So all of this comes into play. And so now when I tamp that out, that's a puck. So we can see that is the espresso puck. That's kind of what you want to see. You don't want that to be so watery that it just falls out into little chunks. Now, when you use your own coffee grounds with the double wall, it's not going to look like that. It's all crumbly and doesn't come out very well, but it actually makes a very good espresso shot. It just doesn't look like that. Okay, so now let's steam some milk. Let's see, you're gonna want to purge the steamer just a little bit. So I press the steam button. It's pointed right at the drip tray here. Okay, steam's coming out. Now stop it. Now it doesn't take very much milk at all. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it right below. We're gonna put it about 3/4 of the way down in the milk. And as it builds up steam, then we're gonna just go right below the surface of the milk, and we want it kind of swirling action. And always grip it by this because that does get really hot. Okay, I'm gonna press the steam button. I'm in control. I've got to turn the steam off. You can start to see it is going in a circular motion now. And we don't want, you can hold this down here, but be careful. You don't want it to get above 140 degrees. Just barely touch it. Make sure you're not getting the milk too hot. And again, I'm just keeping it right below the surface. If I want more froth, I can kind of just bring it, let some air come into it quite a bit. There, it's really going in a circle now. You just got to keep lowering it and lowering it. But you don't want the milk to get too hot. Ooh, yeah, it's getting pretty hot. Okay, when you're ready, turn it off. Wait till the steam stops. It takes a little bit for it to stop. Okay, it is stopped. Now, I've taken too long. This espresso shot may not be the best right now, but now you're gonna, and there's a whole art to this. I'm not the best at it, but there's the hot milk. You can dump the hot milk in, and then we'll get some froth there at the end. I put too much milk in here. I didn't need that much milk for this type of drink, this cappuccino. Okay, so now I can get some of the froth out. And there, I'll put my syrups in there. Let's give it a taste. Let's add just a little bit of French vanilla. Okay, I stirred that up. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, not too bad. It's pretty strong. Yeah, for this size cup, I probably should have used a single shot. I was using a double shot, which is quite a bit of espresso. So for this, because that's really, really strong for me, I would have to have more milk in there and more syrup in there. So we do have a drip tray that once in a while, we are gonna have to empty out this drip tray, and there's a little red thing that pops up when it gets full. Now that tool around back underneath the water reservoir, we can turn this off. It's got a little wrench that we can turn this off, and it's got a little poker that we can clean out that end. Now, if the double shot light starts flashing at you, that means it's time to descale it. And I am gonna do a separate descale video on it. These are programmable. So when it comes out of the box, these are set at a certain time for a single shot and a double shot, but I can program those to however much I want. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to program these really quick. So with it on, both lights are on, you're gonna press and hold these for about 3 seconds, let go. Now they're flashing. Now if I wanna set the start and stop time for the single shot, I'm gonna press it, and then I'll have my, my portafilter in there, and then I'm gonna press it again. So say I want it, right there. Okay, now when I press it again, now it memorized that new time. Now if I wanna do the double shot, just repeat it. They're flashing. Okay, start the double shot, and say I want it to go a lot longer. And then press it again. Now it memorized the new time. Now when I press this, even if I unplug it, come back here and press it, that's gonna be the new time for the double shot. Okay, so it says after 10 minutes, the unit will go into standby mode, but you can put it in standby mode automatically. And you have to put it in standby mode to reset. So I wanna reset those to factory settings. I'm gonna press the 1 cup and the hot water button for 5 seconds. Okay, the unit is in standby mode. Now to wake it up, I just press a button and it wakes back up. It doesn't start the espresso shot, but now those lights are gonna flash until the water is up to temperature. Now to reset it to factory time, put it in standby mode. All right, the lights went out. I'm gonna press and hold the 1 and 2 cup button for 10 seconds. And it says the lights will flash 3 times to let me know that it's in factory reset. All right, and they did flash at me 3 times, and now they're on steady. So I just reset the times for the single shot and the double shot to factory default. So let's run some hot water. I forgot to show the hot water. I'm pressing the hot water button, and we get hot water out. It's good to rinse out the milk frothing wand once in a while. But again, that water is really, really hot. And it's going to go on until I stop it. So I press the button to stop it. Okay, measurements now. This is right at 12 inches. One thing I did notice, this does get hot up here. It does take a little bit. You can preheat your mugs and stuff up here. It doesn't get super hot though. Front to back is 14 inches. You know, left to right, you're looking at about 6 inches. So with the portafilter in there, you do have to have the drip tray installed. That's 5 inches. So it does say it's 54 inches tamper. I had an extra 53 inches and it worked, so I'm not sure. It just says it's 54. Now it does say the unit is 1,500 watts of power is what it uses. If you would like to see this compared to another espresso machine, leave it in the comments down below. I will put links to this. That Breville grinder did a pretty good job. I like that the portafilter fits right there and just push it. So I'll put a link to that in the show description notes also. Also, if you could leave a thumbs up on the YouTube channel, that really does help out my YouTube channel. And I do have some exciting news. I am making my own coffee. So I met with a coffee company. We came up with a roast. We're working on bag design right now. It's just a dead simple sip. It's a Brazilian dark roast. Be sure and check out my Just a Dad Videos group page on Facebook. This is where I do my free giveaways. So when I'm done with these, I do give them away free. I also have some exciting news. I've just done my first Coffee with Dad podcast. So I will be releasing that really soon. And that'll be hopefully maybe in every week maybe. Again, I really appreciate everybody's support. Again, if you could, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.